Bosses start somewhere.
Hello and welcome to Bosses Start Somewhere. It's your girl Riley Brooks Stiff, and I am so excited because I am joined by two incredible actresses, talented, just amazing women, and I have been following them for the last year. They got me through my acting life. Aww. So I just want to give a warm welcome to Danielle Pinnock and LaNisa Frederick from Hashtag Booked. Yes. I am so honored to have you ladies on my show, honestly. I know it's been such a journey for you. I'm sure as actresses, it's been a journey for me. And I was inspired particularly by your post where I think you mentioned you started Hashtag Booked because you were not booked.
Right.
And I was immediately like, I got to get these ladies on my show. So I was like, let me send out an email because I need to hear your story. I have so many questions.
Yes.
So let's just start with your personal stories. Danielle, since you're the closest to me, tell me a little bit about, how you jumped into acting. I know you're starring in a CBS comedy, Young Sheldon.
Yes.
Talk to us.
Well, I've been doing theater for a very long time, professionally since I was 16 years old. Amazing. But I just started doing TV recently. When I was in Chicago, I was at a time when my agents were like, "You've been doing theater for so long, sis. Like, it's time to make the jump." And I was afraid of how I would look on TV because I'm plus size, and I was like, "Oh no, I'm gonna see my cheeks and my chins and all of that stuff." Yeah. And they were like, "It doesn't matter, try it." So my third audition, which is very rare, I ended up screen testing for an HBO pilot, and that brought me to Los Angeles. Didn't get the job, but the casting director said, "We think you need to move up here." So my husband and I, we packed up everything in Chicago. LaNisa was very integral in that move. And I actually got a job at a theater here at the Geffen Playhouse as an understudy. And it was an all-star cast, and so many people came to see that show, Ava DuVernay, and it was insane. But I was able to learn from those cast members that were in the industry as I was auditioning and trying to be on television. And while I was understudying that gig, I booked This Is Us. It was like the first season. So when it came out, it was like the biggest thing ever. Insane. My agents were like, "Yay!" So that just kind of kept spiraling into gigs, which thank God I'm able to work. It's really, really difficult in Los Angeles and any other city. I mean, New York has its difficulties, but at least people can lean on theater and, you know what I mean? Stage readings to at least give you a little bit of something. But
the Fringe Festival.
All of those things.
Exactly.
And, New York does have its hustle because, the subway, and that's a hustle in itself. But Chicago, there was so much community that LaNisa and I had, and it's different here. Wow. So I'm grateful that I'm able to have worked so quickly.
Amazing. Yeah. Okay, so I did not know that you both, I guess, grew up together, or you both came from Chicago. So I want to know your story.
Yeah, so not exactly. We met in Chicago. Okay. We were understudying a show at the Goodman Theater together. And with that theater, when you're understudying, you have to be there every night for what's the rule? The rule is until your character says the last line, their last line. My character say it.
Yeah, we were there to the end.
Right, to the end. Our characters were like, and okay.
Well, the two leads, we were understudied.
Wow. So we had the last line. So that meant a lot of time in this basement, because it's also like underground in this amazing theater land. But I didn't have any desire to move to LA. I was good in Chicago. I'm from Ohio originally. Okay. Moved to Chicago for college. Was doing lots of theater, doing some voiceover. Fine with Chicago has TV every once in a while. It's so much bigger now, but then it was very sporadic, and I was like, I'm good. I'm gooch. This is cool. This is it. Yeah. Then I just started doing more work outside of Chicago. Okay. I did a show. I think my first regional show was with a theater company in Florida. And I was like, wait a second, I can do art anywhere. Yeah. I don't have to be there. And then I booked a crazy gig that took me to Singapore for a few months. So I was doing theater in Singapore, and that was amazing. Wow. I booked a series of commercials back a few years ago that started, and she was with me on this journey because I was like, I'm done. I ain't doing this no more.
It's booked.
And I was like, I quit. I'm done. And I booked it, and they were like, "Oh, it's just an industrial. We'll send you out to LA for it." And I was like, "Okay." Got out here, was like, "Oh, I'm kind of feeling the vibe. That industrial ended up being 25 national commercials. just from that. And it was insane. So from that blessing, I was like, let me put this chunk of change over here.
Exactly.
And save that for LA.
Okay.
And see what it feels like. She moved out here 3 years ago. So you moved out here first. And then a year later, I was like, okay, let's go.
Wow.
I'm ready to make the plunge.
Wow.
And you talked a bit about community, and that's what makes it so livable.
Yeah.
The community of it. And then since here, I can't complain. My goal was get out here and be out here at least with one agent somewhere.
Yeah. In a court, anybody.
Right. Anybody.
Can somebody give me a
just
call?
one agent? And before I made my official move, I had gotten my commercial agent out
Wow.
here. And I was like, okay, I feel confident.
Yes.
I feel good. I feel like I'm coming out here
Yes.
with some arsenal, with ready to go. My Chicago team was very, supportive in that too. And they were like, great, we'll send you on what we can from where we are.
Wow.
And then from there, it just took off. My voiceover agent in Chicago hooked me up with WME out here.
What?
So then that's how I became.
That's how you, is that with Comcast, McDonald's, and
Right.
all that voiceover work?
Exactly.
Amazing.
So that was
Congratulations, by the
amazing.
way.
That's awesome. It's so fun. And plus I was able to expand my horizon
Of
doing
course.
different types of voiceover here.
Yes.
So having those connects gave me the confidence, like, okay, let's do this. Let's see
Yes.
what this is about.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So what adversity have you faced? I mean, I want to know what challenges have you faced? What sort of happened to you on this journey that kind of has discouraged you, but you kind of had to pick yourself up and say, you know what, I'm meant to do this. This is my calling. Like, I know that I have to act. I know that my show is going to move lives,
Well, one of the things I would say for #booked in specifically is that we're poking fun at the industry and how they treat actors of color, specifically Black actresses.
Yeah.
And whether that is a casting breakdown that's stereotypical of slave number 3
Slave.
or
Slave number
or
3.
like a dramatic mother
Oh
with
my
a
God,
crack
I
habit. Do you
Right.
know what I
I
mean?
can't.
Yeah, we would, and I think some of it, we started in that way too, because we would laugh at some of the castings, and
Yeah.
we would sit down and be like, oh my God, did you get this?
Yeah.
Look at this. And we're like, wait, both of us
Yeah,
are theater trained actors, and we both have our masters from the UK. We know that we can do more for
Than this.
we know that we can do more than, oh my God,
Yeah.
the black mama on the corner whose son is lost or
Yeah.
something. So I feel like that adversity drew us together, and we were able to talk about it in an open space, because sometimes it used to feel so secret.
For sure.
Like, oh, you don't want to
want
say
them to-
anything.
I know.
Better be grateful.
I was actually going to speak on that. I mean, you're so bold. I mean, honestly, like just watching and seeing, your content, it's inspiring because you're bold. I mean, as an actress, I mean, I don't even know how I could get into that space to poke fun in a realm where I'm still trying to achieve a certain goal. So I think you're opening up so many doors for actors, because through your work, we are able to find opportunities for ourselves. So the platform's amazing.
One of the things I would even say, just as you just said, opening doors, I feel like we're also opening dialogue in
Absolutely.
some of the events that happen, whether it be having a hair and makeup artist on
can't.
set who's
I
untrained.
can't.
I mean, and that's just a real thing. It's like the Underground Railroad of Black actresses,
Yeah.
and nobody's really talking
No one talks
about that
about
on
it.
television.
They don't. I'm like I'm not orange.
Right.
Right.
We're
Do
not
you
orange.
have another, like they have 800 shades for everybody
Yeah.
else.
Everybody else.
For us, it's like dark, medium, light.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, I have undertones.
I have
Yeah.
undertones.
Pink, yellow, red, and yellow.
I was telling somebody the other day that I went to a makeup store specifically for theater.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, I'm looking for coverage for my tattoo. What do you have? And the lady just like went white as a ghost. And she's like, I'm so sorry. These are our options. And the options were Negro 1 and Negro 2.
No.
That's it.
And that's it. I was like, what? So I get to choose between.
I would have done 2.
I did 2.
I would have did 2.
I still have 2.
I don't want to be the first Negro.
I don't want to as well.
I want to let him
Yeah.
pave the way
Yes,
for 2.
exactly. I want to see how 2 feels on my skin. Yes, exactly. But that's real. Like
Yeah.
other,
So real.
and when you talk about that with like, non-actors or actors of color, non-actors of color, then
Yeah.
they're like, wait, what? That happens?
I know.
Or even just taking for granted being on set and having someone that knows how to do your hair.
Yeah.
Yes. I would come with my hair already done.
Absolutely.
Or I bring a flat iron. I mean, I have a whole makeup
Oh,
kit.
whole kit.
Absolutely.
What? I'm like, can you use?
Whole
do you
kit.
have edge control? I mean,
Yeah.
Whole kit, yes.
All of it.
I know they don't have any of that. No. They have Tresemme.
Yeah.
Yeah. Garnier Fructis.
Okay.
Yeah. That's it.
Stop.
All these curls. Let's spritz. And I'm like, okay.
I don't do spritz.
It's a lot of scrunching. It's a lot of stuff going on.
Why would you do that?
Yeah.
No, it's so true. I mean, it's so hard being a Black actress in Hollywood. It is. I mean, people don't understand. It's so hard. Yeah. Just being a minority in Hollywood.
Right. It is.
Period. I mean, from Asians to Hispanics to us, right? I mean, it's like the breakdowns are so racist.
Yeah.
I'm insulted, but we love the craft so much that I think we suck it up and know that we have to make these sacrifices to get it done. Oh, yeah. What have been some of your favorite roles, whether it's voiceover work or or TV?
I would say
Film.
You mentioned voiceover. I'm really hyped because I just did my first major video game, and I'm one of the first Black female characters in it. So I did Call of Duty.
Are you? I play Call of Duty.
Yes. So I'm in the new one coming out, and I asked them. I was like, some of my friends play. Are there any lead Black females? And they're like, no, actually, we think you're the first. I'm like, holy
That's
crap.
crazy. I didn't even know they had females.
Right, exactly.
That's why I'm like so excited.
Wait a second.
I mean, I used to play all the time with my cousins.
Exactly.
Just got my rage out.
Right, exactly.
Hollywood.
Well, now you can play with my character.
I can't believe this is so when did you record this?
I recorded all summer.
Amazing.
So it was an all summer kind of gig, and it was just fun, really. I've done like smaller ones before, but to be in there for 4 hours straight, jumping off. Okay, you're jumping off a building. All right, now you're on fire. Okay, now you're shooting someone up.
So
now you
cool.
got shot. It was really an awesome experience and a really fun experience. So I would say like that would be one of my top roles, in addition to some cool theater stuff that I've done. Because we got theater roots.
Yeah. And then were you guys on Young Sheldon together?
So that was so Young Sheldon is I would say the blessing that keeps blessing, because
amazing.
Is that the word? The
giving.
The gift.
One of those things.
Got you.
The gift that keeps on giving.
Yes, the blessing that keeps on giving.
The blessing.
Our blessing.
Yes.
That job, it was my first guest star when
Amazing.
I first moved out here to LA. And it was a secret audition. So I had didn't know the title of it, what was going on. And my manager was like, can you be literally called me that morning, was like, can you go to CBS in 2 hours? Wow. And I was like, okay, great. So let me try to sort my curls and Spanx and all that stuff. Hello. So I got there. They had me reading for a music teacher. That's all I knew. And when I got into the room, the casting director was like, great, I think that was excellent. Can you read for another character? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So they gave me the sides, and they were like, perfect, thank you so much. At 6 o'clock that night, my manager called me and was like, oh my God, I didn't realize what this project was for. It's the Big Bang Theory prequel. Prequel.
Yeah.
And can you be at the read-through tomorrow? Wow. So I was like, sure, absolutely. And I was like, Big Bang Theory, my God. So my husband, we're huge fans. So we were like, who's going to be, is Jim Parsons going to be there? Like, what's going on? So we got there. I got there, and Jon Favreau was directing. Wow. Jim Parsons was there. I mean, Chuck Lorre, Stephen, it was insane. Ian Armitage, who plays Young Sheldon. Yeah. And it was an all-star cast with the writers, and I had not a clue the night before. Yeah. I mean, what I was getting myself into. For sure. When I first did it, I had one line. They thought I was funny. They kept adding lines for me. They let me improvise. When we got on set, it was just insane. It was to be in that pilot episode of something that they're creating. So I've been recurring on that show for 3 seasons.
Yes.
It's so now, which has been amazing. And then LaNisa was like, I booked an episode.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah, it was totally random.
So you had nothing to do with that?
No.
It
was just my agent calling and saying like, hey, you have an audition for Young Sheldon. I'm like, all right. And of course you never know.
Yeah, of course.
You never know. And then that night, she's like, cool, you booked it. And I'm like, that's hilarious. What's also funny is we had both booked teachers.
Oh yeah, we did. We booked teachers together.
I'm like, why we keep booking the same, not even,
knowing.
Yeah.
It's so meant to be.
Yeah.
You guys are on this journey together.
Literally.
It's so beautiful to have each other. You guys can sort of you're each other's kind of comfort blanket.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah.
It's so sweet.
Yeah, there's not, you talked about the competition,
For sure.
but there's not. I think we truly believe like what's meant for you
Is for you.
Yes. There are ebbs and flows
Always,
to this
yeah.
industry.
Yes.
One day I might be on top.
Okay.
One day I might be just like
Looking for a job.
Hello.
Okay.
So
Or in
it's
the
serving a
always
table.
Exactly.
Unemployment.
Okay.
That was my key for a
Okay.
minute.
Okay. Listen.
So the ebbs and flows of it. So
Yeah.
it's no point of like competing.
No.
Because we all in the same boat together.
It's a journey. How do you guys keep your content up every week? I mean, are you pre-recording videos? Like, what's your process?
It is definitely, that's a journey.
Yeah.
And it's a job. It
Yeah.
is
a job.
But you're so consistent.
I think part of it was right when we started, we didn't know.
We were
Okay.
doing it for fun.
Wow.
We were messing around in my apartment,
Yeah.
like literally having our little Jack Daniels
Yeah.
and like, let's do a sketch on this.
Let's do
And then like
this.
every week we kind of come in with something crazy that happened in an audition.
Yeah.
And we film it.
Right.
Wow.
And then once it started getting more and more, we were like, okay, this is no longer like, yes, of course it's fun, but this is now a business.
For sure.
So
Right.
we have a schedule in place of
Right.
like, we alternate weeks on who runs the page, who does
Right.
the stories. Like every month we'll meet and be like, this is what we want to cover. If there's anything big that happens in pop culture, of course, we'll like reach out to each other.
For sure.
But I took classes on social
That's
media because I was
amazing.
like, well, how can we utilize this and garner more followers? Because of course now with 10,000 we can monetize.
For sure.
There are so many opportunities for branding.
For sure.
And we had no clue how to
None.
use Instagram.
Wow.
We were just, I was just taking the same dusty selfies and posting them and like posting food shots.
Like,
and
we
that was
did
like the
it.
extent of
Yeah.
my social media
But isn't that so
knowledge.
amazing? I mean, because social media has its pros and its cons, right?
Exactly.
It can be super detrimental, or it can completely influence your life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I think that's what's so amazing is you guys were in this space of like needing to create content through
Yes.
adversity.
Right.
And you birthed this platform that's saving other actors.
Yeah.
Like
And
literally.
And I love the fact that too, like honestly, I love the fact that it feels separate from like my personal
Yes.
Instagram
Right.
page. Like my personal Instagram page is not up to par, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
It's like this is my business,
Yeah.
and this is what I feel comfortable in, and I want to pour my heart into hashtag book
For sure.
And then I want my other page to be like, all right, that's my niece.
It-
all right,
yeah.
that's that.
It-
You know.
It's so great that you say that because I think that's what's so hard about creating
Right.
a brand is to allow the brand to be its
To
own
be a-
voice.
exactly.
So many people want to insert themselves. They want to be like, oh, it's me and this is the brand. It's like, no, is it the brand or is it you?
Yeah.
Right.
And then that gives you flexibility as actresses to
Absolutely.
Right.
you know, get your roles and do what you have to do in Hollywood and the whole
Yeah.
thing.
Exactly.
Insane.
Absolutely.
So what's next for you?
Well, we are in the midst of writing hashtag book as a TV series.
Yes, I was going to say somebody needs to pick this up
Hello.
right now.
Let's say that now.
Yes, pick it up.
Put it in a universe.
Listen,
so,
I'm behind you guys. So tell us about
well,
this
we have been
series.
working so hard, and both of us have been like listening to podcasts,
Yeah.
taking classes just to immerse ourselves into that world because, you know, we come from the actors
Of course.
standpoint. So what does it mean to write a treatment? What does it mean to write a Bible? And just comparing information. Like Danielle will go to class and be like, girl, I learned all this.
Yeah.
And, you know, and I'm like, girl, I went to this panel. I did all this
Yeah.
today. You know, just so we can put and I think that's what makes it strong too. The fact that we're putting our heads together.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, more knowledge is more useful.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're working on that and we're preparing to pitch it and get it out there.
That's
Yes.
so exciting, ladies. Oh my gosh. And do you have any advice for any struggling collaborators, creatives, entrepreneurs? Like what?
Jump in.
Yeah, I want to know like how can you inspire people that are like you? Maybe they have a partner and you know, they have a production company and they're working on their brand as well as an actor. You know,
Yeah.
what kind of inspiration can you give them to keep going?
Well, for actors specifically, that are trying to go into content creation,
Yeah.
I would absolutely encourage them to do it because we're in a very rare time where diversity is on the rise. And also with all of these streaming services that
Yeah.
are
Exactly.
popping up out
sure.
of nowhere.
For sure.
And to be honest, I don't think the time is going to last very long.
Right.
Yeah.
So I feel like we need to just get the gold when it hits. My
Right.
analogies.
I love it. Your analogies
Yeah.
are
horrifying.
on
They're just
point.
like,
They're on
strike
point.
the gold while it hits.
Yeah.
I sound literally like my grandmother. I encourage everyone to create their own content because with all the no's that we receive in this industry of, oh no, thank you, you weren't the right type, it's a permanent yes, when it's your own work.
Yes.
And you don't know who's going to see it, who's going to want to be a part of it. And that thing can turn into so many other, whether it's a podcast or whether it's a television show or film or whatever, web series. There are so many opportunities and options, and you just have to be brave and do it and know that you have friends that want to be a part of it.
For sure.
iPhones that can tape it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You don't need to like try to reach out to Oprah or try to reach out to.
Yeah.
You don't have to wait at all. And that's the thing. All of your means are already here for you.
Absolutely. And it's another source of self-fulfillment. Like in Chicago, I'm used to doing 4 shows a year. I was booked like 10 months out of the year.
Amazing.
You move to LA and you're like, okay.
It's dry.
What are we doing?
I need some water.
Dry out here. I can only hike so many times.
Right.
I can only go to so many workouts.
Exactly. Now what? So it's another
so
way. Like we crack up so much. Like I love our bloopers, to be honest, because we just have fun, and it reminds me of the why behind this. The why behind it is not always like the business and the hustle, because we're artistic souls. We're allowed to explore that. So I think that's the biggest piece of advice. Remember why you're doing it, and remember to just jump in head first and be like, all right, this is going to fulfill me at the end of the day.
Wow, Danielle, LaNisa, this has been such an honor. I'm
Thank you so much for having us.
I'm so honored to have you on the show. And once again, we have #booked, everyone who's listening. And tell us where we can find you guys.
They can find us at #booked on Instagram, and we're now on YouTube.
Oh my goodness, yes! Amazing. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Once again, it's your girl, Riley Brooks-Stith, and you're listening to Bosses Start Somewhere.
Bosses Start Somewhere.